Alright, hello guys, and we're back again for another video for Genshin Impact. And this time, the character we'll be reviewing, mostly what I've chose was Noelle. Noelle's gonna be the next one. I've done her multiple times. I think you see in the video I did a showcase of her like 40k damage. I think it was a shield break, I think, or what it was for a normal attack stat. I think it was a shield break. I don't know. I'm sorry. And I don't know, Noelle's been my personally one of my favorite characters in Genshin Impact. Even if she's a 4-star, she's been one of my favorites by far when I first played the game. And then I switched to Diluc as my first 5-star. So then things have been chugging along these last few years. And as you saw the stream, which was posted not too long ago, which was only 14 minutes, that was supposed to be an hour. And sometimes the PlayStation streaming platform doesn't always work like it wants to, so I'm sorry if you couldn't see that one. But that one was just a peek at the events, or just like the challenges that you could do in the Summer Paradise event. So I'm sorry that you couldn't see the whole stream. But if you were on the stream last night, I appreciate very much. But that one only landed to 14 minutes because I checked the video on my computer, and I had issues with it, and apparently it only went up to 14 minutes, which is really strange. I don't know why it does that. I guess PlayStation sometimes doesn't always work as a stream platform, but I mean that's all I really have at the moment to, you know, do these videos for you guys and really show my my passion for this game is just really strong, strongly there at times. So, well, very strong actually. So we're just gonna jump right in, and let's start off with who she is and what she does. So for my Noelle, she's a DPS Noelle, no sub DPS sadly. I mean, you could build Noelle in pretty much any form, any way you want. She's like a healer, DPS, and a tank, so you can really. She's pretty much an all-rounder on your team by far. She's, in my opinion, one of the best characters that can, you know, do all three roles at once. So, give or take whether you want to use her or want not to use her. It's not like you have to, but man, in my opinion, she's just my favorite, our favorite maid, my favorite maid at least. So, she's just one of my favorites. So, but yeah, I can show you her attributes. So this is what we're running with: 80% crit rate, 124% crit damage, and then the Geo bonus damage down here, 47% if you round it by that 6 to 7. But I know for a lot of the Geo characters, they scale on defense. So you have like Noelle scale to defense, Goro scales on defense, and I think Albedo also scales to defense. Yeah, and then for Zhongli, it's a little different. It's more HP based than anything. But those three we're not doing right now. We're doing our favorite maid, our house maid, and all around. So let's jump into her weapons here, shall we? Enough of the time I'm just talking. But Serpent Spine is what we're running with, and we're from at 5. And yes, this is a battle pass weapon. You have to buy for $10 or 20, whether you give or take. But I think the $10 you should be just fine. And it's by far one of the best weapons for crit rate for claymores. There's other ones that come out, but then you have to wait for the banners to spin. There's certain weapons and characters out there, but basically, mostly a lot of players run this claymore, especially for the crit rate bonus and the passive wave splitter. Every 4 seconds a character is on the field, they will deal 10% more damage and take 2% more damage. This effect is at a maximum of 5 stacks. And it will not reset if the character leaves the field, but it will be reduced to 1 stack when the character takes damage. So basically what it's entailing is, once your character wields this weapon, the stacks will show on the character around you. So 5 swords each, 5 yellow swords each, and then you'd basically, once you have all 5 stacks, you do 10% more damage. Or no, yeah, because it says for every 4 seconds on the field, they'll deal 10% more damage and take 2% more damage. That's the refinement. That's at refinement 5. But then, yeah, it's 5 stacks, and yeah, you can basically do crazy damage with this weapon with any character, any claymore if you choose to do DPS. And it's like a great all-arounder. So that also. Other alternatives for her would be Wolves Gravestone. Oh my god, I can't pronounce the name. Wolves Gravestone, because that increases the attack by 25 on hit against the passive 30% less HP on the opponent, and all party members' attacks are increased by 50% for 12 seconds. So basically, in your party, every character in your party gains 50% more attack for only 12 seconds. But mainly, you'll be using your main DPS on field and not your sub DPSs. Well, if you decide to. Then we have well, this is a different one. This is from a battle pass weapon, but you can run this also if you want. The Unforged. This is probably by far my cool looking. This is like I want. There's a lot of the claymores are they look pretty cool. Oh my god, I can't speak. I'm sorry, but this one I like this one a lot because it just kind of matches the character, Noelle especially for like Geo kind of. Oh whoa, oh wait. Oh no, I get her. I'm sorting too much, but yeah, this is the N4. You can run this for your shield strengthening, but really shield strengthening is not necessary for defense characters. Only for your shield, but that doesn't really matter because Zhongli doesn't scale on. For Zhongli, if you're gonna build Zhongli, for example, he doesn't need to run. Oh, of course he can't run this, but then he can't run the N4. So like a lot of characters, you don't need to run this for shield strengthening characters. You can run this for Albedo. Not Beto. I can't remember the names now. And you'll just be fine with her. Another alternative would be Skyward Pride, because this is another weapon from the banner. This is from the standard banner. It's a really good weapon, honestly. I've used it quite a few times back then, when playing Genshin. And this is a really good weapon. It increases attack by 8%. After using elements of Burst, a vacuum blade that does 80% of attack damage to physical damage. So basically, creates when you create normal or charge attacks on hit, it will last for 20 seconds up to 8 vacuum blades. So within your burst, you will continuously attack, and vacuum blades will come from this weapon for 8 hits for only 20 seconds. So it's pretty good, honestly. And it has energy recharge because a lot of Geo characters they take a certain amount of energy recharge necessarily. The free-to-play option will be the White Blind. This is your go-to right here for defense for Noelle. A lot of this is from the start of the game when you get Noelle. This is your best option, White Blind, because it gives you that defense percentage, and it gets from the passive right here. On normal or charge attack hits, you get increased attack and defense by 12% for 4 stacks for every 0.5 seconds. So anytime you keep hitting your opponent, the stacks will rise up to 4, and your attack and defense will be increased to 12%. And it's just a great weapon for her to start out if you wish. There's a lot of alternatives like the prototype Arc, Fenovia's Great Sword, the Bell. The Bell could be kind of one, but if you want to. And you can get your other free-to-play stuff like the fish. I forgot where I got this one from. The mailed flower, but that doesn't really work. That's an EM build. But those are those are a couple weapons you can run if you wish. Yeah, those are your alternative weapons, and this is kind of your free-to-play options right here: Prototype and White Blind, and Fenovius also. Fenovius could work too. And for the Serpent Spine, kind of free-to-play, but you have to pay it for the Battle Pass. So yeah. Okay, onto artifacts. So we're running a 4-piece Husk of Opulent Dreams. This was the go-to for Geo characters now for defense bonuses and for 4-set stack also. But originally when I ran Noelle, I had I think it was I gotta find it. It was that one artifact from way back when they didn't have it. Hold on, let me show you guys on the map real quick. This video might take a while, really a long time, but I'm gonna show you guys. It's right over here. Yeah, right over here. This artifact domain was such a nuisance. This was the only good thing you had to get, the increased shield strength. And this was the go-to kind of the retracting bolide set was the go-to I had to run for Noelle. I don't know if I ran the 4-piece though. I ran the I think the 2-piece or something with Geo, and then the other one was the Geo one. I don't know where that one is. I don't remember my artifacts no more. But yeah, those two were a go-to. for Noelle. But I remember I ran, I think, a Tracing Bullite set fully. I think I did. Yeah, it was like yeah, this one right here. So this artifact right here also. So the Arcane Petra was the go-to also. Geo damage bonus for 2, and I think I ran a 4-piece Bullite, or was a 2-piece Bullite, or a 2-piece Arcane Petra. But yeah, for the alternative, for like if you don't if you're starting out for Noelle and stuff, your go-to for DPS, if you want like a DPS Noelle, it'd be, I would put through, if you can get to Izazuma, you get this. But if you don't have Izazuma, then your best option would be a Gladiators, so a 2-piece Glad, or if you want a 4-piece Glad works also. So you have a 4-piece set or a 2-piece set. So you have one set right here. So a 4 set of Gladiators. Another set would be Gladiators and Arcane Petra. I think it's this one. Nope, it's not it. I gotta go to like my Beto's artifacts for this, just to show you. So you can run Gladiators. So one Gladiator set. I think it was, yeah. Or you can run Glad and a Geo, an Arcane Petra. So that's 2. Shimenawa and Petra to be 3, and I think that's about like 3 sets. I think there's probably more than 3 sets, but that's all I think I can see so far. But yeah, oh. Yeah. So for her, it's like a 3 sets of artifacts you could run. So would be 1 is the full Gladiators, 2 would be Gladiators and Petra. Gladiators and Petra is 2, so that's your second one. The third one would be Shimenawa and Petra, or I think maybe 4 could be the Retracing Bullite and Petra, but I don't know if you would run Shield Strengthening, but that's like kind of like 4, I guess 4, but you don't have to count that last one I mentioned. So yeah, those are her artifacts, and I think the last time I showed you, I had this artifact set, but this one I changed it like a while ago, I think. Or no, they've been the same so far, but yeah, I changed maybe a little bit, but then here I can show you, not the greatest, but I mean, I'm just getting just whatever I can. This one was pretty good. This one landed a good amount of crit damage, honestly. That was a pretty good run. This one, crit rate, not too bad. Could do better. My flower was pretty decent. A lot of these were landing a lot of crit damage. I want crit rate. Yeah, this one was an even one, and then here's the other one. This is the one I showed you. Not great crit damage, but not not really caring about HP that much, but it's okay. But yeah, so if you're gonna run like a DPS Noelle, your best set would be, or 4. This would be 5 or 4, whatever you want to count it. 4 would be your 4 set Husk of Opulent Dreams, or if you want to count the 4 would be Tracing Bullite and the Petra, then 5 would be the Husk of Opulent Dreams. But then it's usually around 4. I wouldn't count the Petra and Bullite, so you would only have 4 sets to work with. So your last set would be a 4 sets of Husk of Opulent Dreams. For constellations, however, are probably one of the, in my opinion, for like when you start out, is like one of the best, because you have your first constellation at Swooping Time and Breastplate are both in effect. Chance when oh my god, I can't speak. Effect, the chance of Breastplate's healing affects activating at 100%. So when you have Breastplate active, and then when you use your Sweeping Time, which is your burst, you get 100% active healing throughout, basically. So it's 100% guaranteed. No setbacks or anything, but it's 100% guaranteed all the way through. So your team, your party, anyone you play with, they will fully get healed automatically within your area, at least. So yeah, and then here's your Combat Maid. So it decreases the stamina, consumption of Noelle's charge attacks by 20% and increases her charge attack damage by 15%. So that's a pretty good one. But usually you're not going to use your charge attacks too much for Noelle, but at times when you need to, then you will. But this is still pretty strong con. This one increases your breastplate by 3 to 15. So yeah, pretty much, adding up by 15. This is the max. Here's your to be clean constellation. So constellation for Noelle, your breastplate duration expires, or it is destroyed by damage. It will deal 40% of Noelle's attack as geo damage to surrounding opponents. So whenever breastplate is absorbed by damage or it expires by the time then, anyone within your area or anyone within Noelle's area takes geo damage from her breastplate breaking, dealing geo damage by the surrounding opponents within her, um, you know, surrounding, basically. Oh my god, I'm talking so sloppy, but it's okay. But for Constellation 5, increase the level of sweeping time by 3, same thing to the invulnerable main, so basically upping your skills to 15 by 3. And then probably one of the best counts at 6, sweeping time defense increases Noah's attack by an additional 50% of her defense additional every opponent defeated during the skill duration, adds 1 second to duration. So anytime when you activate sweeping time, which is her burst, and when you basically get that additional 50% attack scaled by her defense, and anytime you defeat opponents, your burst increases the time up by 1, and it goes up to 10 times, 10 seconds at max. And once that 10 seconds is up, it's basically, once you have those 10 seconds, you can just keep going for a good long while until it runs out. So the con 6 Noelle is by far the best and one of the strongest cons in her kit by far. Her talents, yes, your boy is a hardcore Noelle main. Look at this, maxed out talents all the way. I took the liberty of just literally maxing them out when I played. So yeah, up to 4 consecutive strikes. You know what the deal is for Noelle or any other Claymore character, pretty much. Here's the scaling info right here. You can just look at it. I'm not gonna go into detail for it. Here's that. Here's her breastplate. So this is what breastplate does. So summons protected stone armor, dealing geo damage to surrounding opponents and creating a shield. So anytime you press your skill at R2 or I think whatever on PC, is it Q or E? I think maybe it's E, maybe or Q. I don't know. But any console or on PC, when you activate this skill, which is her skill, breastplate, it gives the character or her the a protective geo, a stone armor shield, absorbing damage, basically. So it says right here, the shield damage absorption scales based on Noelle's defense. So if you give her high defense, then your shield absorption can, take a lot more. And basically it scales with her defense. And the shield has the following properties. And when Noelle's normal and charge attacks hit targets, they have a certain chance to regenerate HP for all characters. So when breastplate is active, and if you add that to sweeping time, and if we go back, if I show you this constellation right here, your first con, basically having breastplate and sweeping time together gives you that 100% active healing for all party members. So that's a really strong con when you're doing harder activities in the abyss, or even in an open world with your friends and such. So that's a guarantee. And then as you follow here, generate HP, possesses 150% damage absorption efficiency against all elemental and physical damage, and the amount of HP healed when generated is triggered by the base scales based on the most defense. So pretty much Noelle scales all to defense, if you wish to know so much. And here's her skill damage, her absorption, healing, and trigger chance. You can just look at it. I'm not gonna read it, so I'll give you a few seconds to look at it. Alright, and then we're on the sweeping time. Pretty sure everyone knows this, but if you don't know what sweeping time is, basically gathering the strength of stone armor, her weapon, Noelle strikes the opponents surrounding with her within a large AoE, dealing geo damage. Afterwards, Noelle gains the following effects. Large attack of AoE converts all attacks to geo damage and cannot be overwritten by any other elemental infusion. Increases attack that scales based on her defense. So approach everything you see, everything you is told. Breastplate, sweeping time, all scale to defense for Noelle. And then here's her skill attributes if you want to look. So her burst damage, her skill, her attack bonus, and her duration of burst. And her cooldown and energy cost. Energy cost is at 60, quite still a lot, but not too much. But it's a pretty decent amount for what she can do as a 4-star character, and for a burst, and she does pretty strong damage, I tell you what, man. Then pretty much, her passives, I'm not gonna go into it. Here's that. Decrease your cooldown of breastplate by 1 every 4 seconds. For every 4 normal or charge attack hits, she scores on opponents. And then here's your maiden lady. I think yeah, when you make dishes, she boosts defense, boosting dishes by 12% chance by doubling the product. Alright, enough about that. So, for Noelle, I've given you for her weapons, her artifacts, and what her cons do and such and such. And this is what the Serpent Spine passive does. This is when it gives you that 5 stacks of the swords. And then anytime you take damage, one of these glowing swords will disappear. And then, yeah, it's a straightforward thing. So I think I'm pretty sure you know that by now. For now, we're getting pretty close. I'd say pretty close to the end of the video. I wouldn't say it's like, I'm not trying to rush you guys, but I'm just trying to pick up the pace a little bit. I know it was kind of a lot of information. It's probably boring, but I mean, I'm just trying to help, people start Genshin just to learn things about like how characters work, how the game is, and how it functions and such. So, and then yeah, for Noelle, for team comms, if we go to the setup here, so you can run a full. If we go to the Elemental Renaissance, if I show you, once again, you have 2 people who have Geo, increase your shield strength by 15, and the character protected by a shield will have the following characteristics. Deals increased damage by 15% to enemies, will decrease Geo resistance by 20% for 15 seconds. So having 2 people with Geo, you can basically, this will reduce the Geo resistance of all enemies, and you'll deal more damage, 50% more damage. Yeah, pretty much just straightforward as I go along, and it gives you that 50% strengthening, shield strengthening. If I show you, yeah, increase shield strength by 50%. Okay, but you can run a full Geo team like I am. I usually this is only for Geo, no nothing. But then you can run if we go here, you can run 2 Geo characters, and you can have like Bennett and Xiangling. So you have 2 Pyro, 2 Geo, so that extra Pyro gives that extra 20, I think it's 25% damage. Yeah, 25% increase in attack. So the Ferret Flames. So let me just show you for example. So if I were to switch, where's Bennett? I need Bennett, where you at? Okay. I switch Goro out for Bennett, switch Albedo out for Xiangling, or for whatever 5-star you have, it doesn't matter. I mean, well, it probably might matter. So then here's the Renaissance you look at. So here's affected by crime by 40% less time and increased attack by 25%. And you have the Enduring Rock because of the 2 Geo characters I have. So basically you're getting more attack from the 2 Pyro characters and boosting your Noelle's damage by an assumption, by very greatly, actually, very greatly. But you don't have to do that sometimes. I prefer, my preference is to run a full Geo. Goro gives a benefit for increasing your defense and increasing your attack. So basically you could run Pyro, but then usually Geo will work for you strongly. That's kind of it really for team comps. You can run a two Geos and 2 Pyros, or you can run like a 2 Geos, an Electro, and a Pyro if you want. It's really up to you to decide to build the teams. But I run a full set of Geo just because, and it's just like I just like it better. So then let me show you. So here's Goro. Goro boosts your defense. So that those 3 poles mean you have Geo characters. And if we go to the stats right here, her defense is increased by 2,290 or 2,290. Her defense. So if I step out of the barrier, see if it disappears. Okay. So if I leave the barrier, her defense is decreased by about 1,000. So if you put this down from Goro, yeah, her defense goes up by like a good 1,000 right there. A good 1,000 defense. So really, Geo basically can just boost your damage by far. You don't have to run Pyro characters, but if you want, you can. I'd say you run like Geo, Noelle, DPS, Goro, or like Goro, and then you would have Bennett and Shangli if you want. Or if you want to run like almost like a bunch of shields, I guess you could run like Noelle, Goro, Zhongli, and then like Yangfei if you want, just for fun. It doesn't have to be like for damage or anything, just for fun. Or like even like yeah, that's really about it, like for team comps. So like you run 2 Pyro, 2 Geo, or 2 Geo, 1 Electric, run Pyro. It's really up to you to make the decision for teams for Noelle. But that's really all I have at the moment for Noelle. I don't have anything too special probably, but Noelle's been one of my favorites. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have liked Noelle ever since they started the game, for being the first 4-star to pull sometimes. Usually, she's always the first, usually, from her standard banner. From her banner, actually, surprisingly. Like her own mini banner, which is from the start of the game. But truly, Noelle is a fantastic character for a 4-star. And definitely do build her when you get the chance. Because, like, she will show you that potential and damage, and even in the heals if you wish. Like, it's insane what she can do when she's given all 3 roles and can provide those roles for your team or for your friends that play. So truly, that's all I have for today for this video. It might be short, but I hope it's not too long. I hope you guys do learn something from this for, you know, building your Noelle for the first time. And I will see you guys next time.